Hi everybody, I hope you are very well. Welcome or welcome back if you are new here. It's lovely to see you. Today I'm making a junk journal for my little boy because he does me a lot of pictures and drawings and I want somewhere to keep them. Now when he was little I had a little notebook because he used to draw me just kind of little drawings and kind of little bits and bobs, but now he's older and he tends to be doing more full-size pictures and posters and things. So I wanted something bigger to, for as a place to put those things that he makes for me. So that's the plan today. I have lifted the camera as high as I can, but I still don't think I'm fitting the whole of this book in. The book I'm using is a recycled book. So it's an annual from 1968. I'm using the front and back cover. And I've just taken the spine out to create my own spine. I took away any kind of untidy edges and I've just with some masking tape covered these bits here where it had ripped, just so that the glue had something a bit smoother to stick down on. So this is a tall book. It's 12 1/8 in height, and I'm going to do a spine which is just over 2 inches, 2 3/8. For the covering for the spine, I've made the spine from a piece of chipboard, and I'm going to cover it in this material here, which is an old t-shirt of my son's. And that's going to sit in there like that. So I apologise if the lighting or anything changes. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this done all in one go. So, I might possibly be filming this over the course of a couple of days. The first thing I'm going to do is put matte medium all down this spine here. This is the matte medium I'm going to use. I have never used this to do fabric before, but I think the collal or the Fabri-Tac will be too wet. This isn't a very thick material. It's just cotton. It's cotton really. So I've got the matte medium off here to the side. Just going to move these out of the way to make sure this is straight. And let's just cut off that bit there. I don't know if you can see, but I have made a little mark just so I know where the centre is. And I'm going to put plenty of this onto here. And I'm going to stick it in the centre. Like that. Then I'm going to get the front cover and I'm going to be placing that on to here. So I think it might be easier to get some matte medium straight onto here. And I'm going to stick that down, leaving a little bit of a gap. And then with this cover, let's try putting it onto here. I'm going to do exactly the same thing. And then I'm going to turn these bits over and stick these down like that. Because he was only little when he had this t-shirt, it doesn't wrap all the way around, so I'm likely going to have to put another piece over the top here. Just going to go over with some matte medium now, just to make sure all that's stuck down. And then I need to let this completely dry. So I've cut a piece to length, which is going to go over here. So I'm going to stick that down now. I'm not overly bothered about it being really neat. I think I'm going to put a strip of paper down there anyway. But we're going to get plenty of the matte medium on. I think I'm almost out. I might have to order some more. So the inside is dry to the touch now, so I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to repeat on this side. So everything is nicely stuck down. Okay, so this is almost dry now, and what I'm going to do, I think the best thing to do to cut this excess off here is to use what are these called, a rotary trimmer. Okay, that's made a nice clean cut. I will do the same on the other side. And I'm wondering if I can, because the chipboard is still wet, I can kind of bend the spine a little bit. To create like a curved look. Like that. Okay, that's looking good. I'm just now going to get my bone folder and just reinforce that line. So I'm not keen on this edge here. I don't mind frayed edges at all, but I'm not keen on it on this one. So I have a piece of ribbon which is 1 inch wide, and I'm going to stick it on to there. to cover that. And then we've got the stripes on the side from his t-shirt. I'm going to use tacky glue to apply that. I'm going to put it on to the ribbon and then just stick it onto the book. I spread it out a little bit with my finger just so we don't get lots of clumps. And then stick down. Right, so I'm going to do the same on the other side. My glue wasn't coming out very well, so I've just switched. I've just opened up the lid and poured it onto my little palette here to my side. So I will just quickly do it this way. It's good, that glue, but because it's thick, it does the like the nozzle does get very blocked. Okay, so this is how our spine is looking, and I'm just now going to let that completely dry. I'm going to try and keep it stood up and curved so it keeps its shape, and then we'll have a look about doing something on the inside. So I'm going to open it up, and I'm not overly keen on where you can see the joint here. So what I'm thinking of doing is I've got this really nice orange ribbon, and I'm thinking of placing that along here, and then I have cut 2 strips of striped paper to go here. These are 1.5 in width, 1.5 inches in width there. I've kept the 12 inches of the original paper because this book is just over 12 inches. And I was thinking of putting that there like that, just to get the inside nice and tidy. This is also a different day because I had to order some more matte medium to finish the cover off. And in between that, one of my lights is broken. So I'm hoping the light is okay. It's also at a different time of the day to when I previously filmed, so the lights probably change as well. But yeah, if it appears a little dark, it's because one of my lights is just blown. So I've just stuck the ribbon into the middle bit and left these bits free so that I can still keep the movement here. So when I come to stick the striped paper on, we will still kind of allow this to bend and move. I have used, in the end, collal because the other glue wasn't sticking. And I might just now go over in a tiny bit of the matte medium to make sure the edges stay nice and stuck down. And I think what I'm going to try is put a little bit, so I'm just like folding it over. I'm not pulling it too tight. I want to allow that to be able to move. I think I might put a little bit of double-sided tape just to help keep that in place. Give it a really good burnish. So while the book is drying, I thought I would talk you through my signatures. I've got 3 signatures and they all have 7 pages plus an envelope. And the envelope is going right into the middle. I have deconstructed it so that it can be bound into the middle and then I can glue it back together again. So I'll just take you through the first signature because I've done all of them in the same way. Because of the height of the book, it was really easy with my 12 by 12s. I just scored them in the middle at 6 inches. The height was already sorted. And you know, I was good to go with that. So I got a variety of different scrapbook papers and different colours that I thought would work nicely. I have then got a selection of pages from children's books, children's encyclopedias. This page is actually from the book we're using for the covers. Some more scrapbook paper. I have also used some coffee dye paper and some plain grid paper. And because of the size of the book, what I actually did was I took two full size sheets and just attached them in the middle with some sellotape. I did exactly the same thing for the coffee dye paper as well. In each, I've got a page from a nursery rhyme book. And then in the middle is where I'm going to put the envelopes. So when I come to sew them in, I'll do it like that. So then, oh no, sorry, it'll be this way. I'll do it like that. So then it will get sewn down here and then I can close it up and my envelope will be in the centre. Now, for my spine, what I've done is use a scrap piece of paper. I measured it to the correct height, which was 12 and, what was it? I can't remember. I did mention at the beginning. And I also measured it to exactly the same width, which is 2 3/8, I think. And to get where I needed to put my holes, I folded my piece of paper in half, opened it back up, folded that side into the middle, opened it back up, folded this side into the middle, opened it back up, and then I repeated the other way. So I folded that way, it down, folded into the middle, and folded into the middle. And then at each intersection, I have put a black dot, and that is where I am going to be poking my holes through. To poke the holes, I'm going to be using my awl. I'm going to use a paper clip to keep that temporarily in place. Like that. Now, I am never ever perfect doing this. I always seem to make some form of mistake. And I'm going to just pierce where those holes are. Take this off. And now that I can see the holes, I'm just going to widen them by putting my awl all the way through. Well, about half the way through. Just to help my needle when it's time for my needle. Then I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to go back in through this side so that it looks neat from the front. Just kind of gives it a neater finish, pushes it all kind of back out to where it needs to be. Makes that hole nice and wide. So next I'm going to work out where the holes need to be in my signature. And I'm just looking at my envelope and I'm looking at its height, and if I was to put it in about in the centre-ish, it's going to get all 3 of those holes. So that should be nice and stable in there. So for my holes, I'm going to line this up and I'm going to pop with a pencil a mark. And that's where I'm going to be poking my holes through each signature. I want to pop my envelope where it's going, so I want it there. And I'm going to get my ruler and push just so those pages are as tight as they can be. Popping my signature on, I'm going to make the holes where those lines are. So I am going to use a 3-hole pamphlet stitch when I do this. I'm not going to do it on camera because it's just so big and cumbersome that I just don't think I'd be able to get it on properly, and then it would be really difficult for me to work with. There are loads of videos out there that explain how to do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. Gayla Gostinelli is really good. Amy at Crafty Cats, another really good one to watch. Natasha at Treasure Books is another really good one to watch. So maybe head over to there if you're not sure how to go about doing a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, or if you just put into YouTube, loads of tutorials I'm sure will come up. I like to use this kind of wax cotton. It's a nice brown colour, so it will kind of go with the vintage vibe of this. And I'm just going to use a tapestry needle. I usually do 1, 2, 3, and a bit more for good measure for the length. I'm going to go through and close up these envelopes in each signature, and I'm going to put a bit of tape just over the cord, the cotton, and I'm going to put the glue where it was originally put. And that means that we've then got the use of that full envelope. I ripped it a little bit there, so I'm going to have to just do a little bit of a repair on that. Next envelope, this one. And then the last one is this one. Here is my finished journal. I will give you a quick flick through. So this is our first signature. use of this envelope because I fastened it into the journal. So those 7 pages are giving us 14 sides. Signature 1. Then we have signature 2. And then signature 3. Okay, so I will be coming back to this journal. There's some little pockets and extra things that I want to add in. The spine looks like this. I'm not going to cover it up. I don't mind the look of this with the strings showing. But that is where I am up to with this for today. Thank you so much for joining me. And I will see you again next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. That would help me out a lot, and I would love to hear any comments as well that you may have down below in the comments section. So until next time, take really good care of yourselves, and I'll see you then. Bye.